this episode of the Coronavirus Extraordinary Series, I speak to Martin and Susan from HOPS. HOPS stands for Hawksworth Older People's Support. Their organisation allows older people to live independently and improve the quality of life for the individual. Have a listen. Welcome to another Coronavirus Extraordinary episode of Light on Leeds podcast. Today I've got remotely connecting to me Susan and Martin from HOPS. Hello both.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming along and, well, sort of not coming along, remotely connected. Can you explain to me a little bit about what is HOPS?
Right. Well, HOPS is one of 37 neighbourhood networks that are supported by Leeds Adult Social Care. And our main aim is to help older people remain active in their own homes. Each of the networks is individually and separately a charity and has its own board and its own direction to it. Whilst we all have similar aims, we operate in different ways, and depending on what the community wants, people, the members, that's what we do. So we are a user-led charity, and we act on what our customers, clients or members require.
And how long have you been going?
The neighbourhood network, HOPS has been in existence for around 20 years, but prior to that we were part of another organisation called Elderly. We were the Elderly Care Project, part of Hawksworth Community Association. But in a way it's been working probably about 24 years.
That's amazing. And how do the members of the scheme let you know about what it is that they want?
We ask them, and to be fairly honest, they're not particularly shy in telling us.
We have a wish list as well.
Okay. And how does that work, Susan?
So we have a wish tree, and people write their wishes on. We hang them on the tree, and then Martin and I will go through them, take them off the tree, and try and make that come true.
Oh, do you sometimes get ones that are just like, there's just no way you could ever make that happen?
Well, the
occasionally. Yes.
Sorry, say that again, Martin.
They wanted wing walking, but we...
Well, yeah, I can imagine.
So one of our offshoot groups is an adventure group.
Brilliant.
Because obviously not everybody wants to do things like that, but even if it's just like 4 people, we do try and make that happen. So cycling, horse riding, abseiling, things like the rock climbing. So we've done all that.
Oh, that's brilliant. And it's great to see there's just such a wide diverse of things that they'd want to get involved in.
Absolutely.
And so do you sort of organise get-togethers for people and stuff then? Do you have sort of like little mini clubs, like you were saying, the adventure thing? Do you have mini sort of groups within the group?
Well, we have a weekly programme that clearly suspended at the minute, but we have do line dancing, we have 3 lunch clubs a week, we have arts and crafts. We do,
Keep fit.
Yep, and we have a film club and a ping pong club. So we do an awful lot of different things that they can be part of or not, depending on whether they feel it's for them. But additionally, we do things like day trips to the coast, in the Dales, a gourmet group. So the members like to spend a little bit of money on spoiling themselves for a nice meal out.
Oh, that's lovely.
So we're eating our way around the world. We've been to France, we've been to Italy, we've been to Japan. So we're on our way to India, or we were, but that's happening for a while now.
Oh, and has it been very difficult for you during this period?
Yes, it's been a night.
Yes.
What kind of things are you facing?
Well, we normally we would, like for last year we had 480 active events planned. We carried out 480 events. So.
Sorry, Martin, you just keep going a little bit quiet. Can you just make sure you're next to the microphone?
Okay. So we have 480 activities and events last year, and so we've gone from having such a busy time, active, to basically keeping in touch by phone and getting it okay for shopping and try to amuse them with things like crossword puzzles and things like that. But it's gone from a really community group activity into, and it's been a bit of a shock to us all.
Yeah. Really frustrating as well, because they're all about being with people, being with their friends, seeing us, and it's hard seeing them on their own, really.
Yeah, especially, Yeah, when they got to be involved in all these activities, like you said before, and quite a lot of group things, is it also quite difficult for more elderly people to access the internet and things, or is that something that they've learnt before all of this happened?
Well, some of them are text-based, although we do have continue to have to explain Facebook. I think things when you're 93 and somebody says you need to connect to the internet and keep in touch with the world, but say things like, "Oh, it's not for me."
Yeah.
It would depend on the day, how they feel, but we have encouraged them and we have tried. Some of them don't want to.
We've set up a letter exchange as well, letter and drawing exchange. So they've been writing to, and children have been writing and drawing pictures to them, and they've been replying. So that's been really lovely and giving some contact with the outside world as well.
Oh, what a great idea! Yeah. So did you just sort of put out into the local community about that opportunity, and kids just signed up for it?
Yeah, well, the local school have made birthday cards for us because we send everybody a birthday card, so that's over 200 a year. Well,
wow.
We've not been able to purchase those, so the local schools have made those for us. And then a community in London have done the letter exchange mainly. So that's been really lovely.
That is fantastic. So who set up the letter exchange in the first place?
It was just myself and my sister at first because she runs a Facebook group down there. We thought it would be nice.
Yeah.
And it just took off that way, and then Martin's grandchildren got involved as well.
Oh, that is a lovely thing to do.
Yeah, it's been really lovely to see.
Has it been quite hard? Has it been quite hard sort of having to think outside the box during this period then and find sort of alternative ways to support them?
Yes, I mean, on being a very community-based and sort of and involved. I mean, every day we had something for them to do and to come together as a group, and now it's just all solitary. And I think that's the real difficulty for us. It's we've actually kind of flipped the coin completely from getting everybody to us to actually delivering things over the phone and at the remote. Nowhere near as much fun.
No.
And seeing those that have actually needed us, who've lost a husband, a wife during this period, it's been horrendous not being able to offer that like support and give them a hug and make them a cup of tea or whatever. It has been really difficult.
Yeah, I bet that's really, really tough. Yeah, such a sad time. And I mean, I suppose one sort of semi-positive thing, I suppose, is that you sort of, I mean, I don't know about other people, but I've had a little bit more time to sort of think about volunteering and things like that, and I was thinking about, you know, elderly people who perhaps don't have much contact, and now in this state it's even worse. I signed up to help out with them. I don't know if you've heard of them, Re-Engage.
No.
I think in the back of my mind.
Yeah, I think they might have been renamed recently, so I'm waiting to be paired up basically with an elderly person who, you know, might not actually get to speak to anybody very often. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that.
Yeah.
Well, the great thing about that generation, particularly the generation we work with, those in the late 70s up to mid 90s, their life travel, the life that they've travelled is so amazingly different, and the skills and the experiences they had are something that we will never ever see, and I find it really interesting to listen to other stories.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they've got such a different outlook, and also I think, you know, I've got grandparents who, you know, have passed away, and so it'll be another way of connecting with sort of an age group that I wouldn't necessarily be doing, which I think is going to be, you know, just as beneficial for me as it is for them, hopefully.
Well, it is, and I think what we have to do is for people to remember that the older people, those in the 90s, were young ones, and listen to some of their stories. I think they probably had a much better time than I did when I was 19.
Well, they certainly make us blush, don't they?
Can you remember any particular stories that sort of amazed you, really?
We were dropping a couple of ladies off, lived next door to each other for a number of years, and as the first lady got off, the next door neighbour, I was driving the minibus at the time, and she came and whispered in my ear, she had a good war, never short of tights. I was like, do I need to know this?
That's such a great expression.
They do have a strange way. And they have a very different language as well. I mean, they've grown up through so many different things to what we, the political correct area that we're in now. And they find some things a little bit confusing, and we do find quite often when we have students in that we have to just prepare them to say, well, some of the words they use are not the ones we use today, but it's not to do with any malice or offence.
Yeah.
It's a different era, a different time, and they are, without doubt, the most incredible group of people. They'll never cease to be amazing.
They're brilliant. They're so inspiring. There is nothing that they haven't gone through between them that we'll ever go through. So, yeah, they're really inspiring. When you're having your own troubles and things like that, it really helps chivvy you along, because they've been through it and got through the other side, and they're still smiling. And they've handled this fantastic, I would say. I've never heard any of them moan.
Oh.
Get their heads down, get on with it. They're brilliant.
And especially when you think, like you said, like, all of the wonderful activities that you had all planned for them and everything, even in the face of that and losing all that and perhaps being confused and a little bit lonelier than normal and not as connected as perhaps other people are. Yeah, I mean, that's great to still be going around with that positive attitude, isn't it?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
You can't keep them down. But it don't work.
And so you mentioned students, Martin. Is that something that you do quite a lot? What sort of age students do you have? Is it like a voluntary role?
They do. We have social work students on a first year placement for 20 days or so they can spend some time with us in our environment, meeting the old people, working with them, and getting them kind of a connection, and seeing that there are alternatives for older people other than just putting them in a nursing home or telling them to be quiet or whatever.
Yeah.
There's 37 places like us in Leeds, all doing amazing stuff, and all giving opportunities for that generation, not to just sit home and lock down. There is more to life, and to be fair, I think if I'm as fit as some of them when I'm 17, 18, I'll be an happy man.
No. Oh, it sounds like great work and really positive. Is there anything that the people of Leeds could do to help you out?
I think all we need is I think the main thing for us as an organisation working with older people is just for people to remember that, they may be old, but they're not stupid. And the thing that they like most about coming to us is that it's like going back to Earth. It's like being with a group of friends. It's like having a banter.
Yeah.
People don't, we have certain things banned in this organisation, and one of the things that we don't allow any staff member or volunteer to do is to walk up to an older person and say, "Are you all right, love?" Because there's nothing more annoying than treating somebody like they're stupid, and they're not. They are very, very intelligent, very bright, very connected people. So we don't treat them with kid gloves. We let them be people.
Yeah.
If people. The people of Leeds could just remember that whatever you think you've done, they've done it probably twice as many times and come through it the other side. So
I'm just thinking about the invisible story, Martin.
Yeah. Well, you tell me.
It just came about that one of our members had said that he felt invisible, and everybody started to agree. So he was over 6 foot, maybe 6'5", but even at that height, when he went to the bar or to be served anywhere, he was ignored because of his age, and he just felt invisible, and people spoke over him or didn't give him time to speak. But then a lot of our members agreed with him. And Martin and I realised that we had probably been doing that to our parents as well. Mm-hmm. When you're all together at a family occasion and you're talking quickly and someone's a bit hard of hearing and they say, pardon, you say, "Oh, I'll tell you later. You don't actually, when you think about it, you've not included them in the conversation as much as you possibly could have done. And it really it shook us, really, and made us stop and think about what we were doing.
We've been doing some work with Red Ladder Theatre Company.
Oh, yeah.
And this came out of some work we were doing with Rod. And to be honest, it frightened me to death because it was so obvious that it was sort of there in front of your eyes. And the sad thing is that we all, as sons and daughters, we do kind of say it's easier to sort it than to actually take the time to explain it. And they did write their own play. In fact, they've written 2 of their own plays. And I can never remember the names, but I think The Invisibles.
The Invisibles, yeah.
And Anyone for Tea. And the Invisibles came about, and they wrote the script, in which, I mean, it's online, so if you want to Google it, you can find
Yeah.
YouTube. Is it on YouTube too?
It's both on YouTube.
Oh, I'll look those up, yeah.
Yeah.
And they wrote their own song with Claire, who worked with us with Red Ladder, and it's the gist of the song is if you think we're old and decrepit and rubbish, and you're not looking at us, they're still looking out at the world as if they're young.
Yeah, of course.
It's called Young at Heart.
And it's a good piece of work, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
In fact, one of the lines in the play was, "Don't ask Google, ask me."
Well, yeah, because I mean, you know, they're this huge resource, like you say, because of all these experiences, and like any single thing that any of us are going to go through, like you say, that they will have already been through that themselves and come through the other side.
Yep.
They do. It is that my parents are getting on a bit. My mum and dad, my mum's 92. And it's that amazing resilience of that generation that nothing's going to get them down, nothing's going to defeat them, and they'll just keep popping back up. And to be honest, COVID has been a breeze to most of them. You know,
Yeah.
You know, they've not the meds are all sorted. They're pretty sorted with the shopping, and they have the hobbies. So I think the main problem with COVID experience it will have been the young families and you know, people who've been furloughed and suddenly, you know, they've lost an income.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Not a great deal's changed for them other than that they can't come out and meet their friends.
Mm-hmm.
But they have been brilliant. In fact, the time they've picked us up, haven't they?
Yeah.
We've been a bit, oh God, when's it going to all end?
Oh.
We long for a week of peace and quiet. It's turned into 10.
Yeah, it's got a bit too far now.
We don't want it again, thank you.
Do either of you have any hints or tips you might have got from your elder people about how you've been getting on during lockdown?
I think for us, that our worry is more about getting them back out again.
Lose of confidence.
Yeah.
The worry for us.
And do you think part of that will be the worry that, you know, not being sure about it being safe? Or do you think it's because they'll have got into the habit of staying in?
It'll be a mixture of both. I mean, I've been with HOPS for 20 years, and I've spent 20 years trying to get everybody together in the group. And then all of a sudden, you know, that's not what we're doing anymore. You know, we get them into routine. Even our members that have got dementia and Alzheimer's, they know the days that we're picking them up.
Yeah.
We were part of their normal. Now they've got a new normal, which takes them a bit of a while to settle into. And then what we're going to do then is change their new normal yet again.
Yeah.
So there are concerns around about that. But their advice was just smile, get on with it.
Yeah.
It's an example more than the words. They're just not really being paid by it whatsoever.
Oh.
Yeah. And they have a routine. I think that helps. They still have their own little routine daily.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the great things that's come out of this, and this is probably one of the biggest advantages, because we've set up a form with this. Some volunteers from within the organisation, some from outside the organisation, bring in a group of people every week just to check they're all right. Mm-hmm. From that has developed, they've created their own groups of people to ring. So they're ringing within each other, they're keeping in touch with each other. So whilst they're not seeing each other physically, they are still keeping in contact with the people that they were sharing their experiences at HOPS with. So it's been a little, it's quite rewarding really in that respect, that we can at least, what we've done is put the foundation in for them to be friends.
Yeah.
Even though we're not here to manage that, they are still being friends. That's the important thing, I think.
Aww. And I always ask my guests these questions, so I'm going to ask you both. You can obviously answer separately. I doubt you're going to have the same answers. But what would you say is something that you think is great about the city of Leeds?
I would say it's the people. We are who we are. I'm proud to be Leeds. I've been living in Leeds all my life, born and bred, and I can't think of anywhere else I'd like to live.
Aww.
Maybe a desert island somewhere.
I just like the fact that it's such a big city, so you've got most things that you would ever need, but also small independent places as well. And we're also, you're never like 5 minutes away from open countryside as well. You're soon out in the countryside, which is really lovely. I really like that about Leeds. Yeah,
it really is a good thing about it. And can you think of anything that you think is not so great about the city?
Transport.
We get that quite a lot.
Transport links. If you don't drive, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. The buses don't turn up on time. The trains hardly ever do. That really needs sorting out, I think.
Yeah, it really does. What about for you, Martin?
I don't like it. People that aren't from Leeds, people from Leeds, you don't buy into Leeds then. I'm a bit parochial. I love the city. I don't know. I'm knocking on a bit now. I've been through. I'm 62 years old, and in the last 40 years, this has changed so amazingly from a really dark and industrial city into a bright and enlightening city. And you look at all the development of the universities, the food culture, the arts culture. It's just an amazing city. Not a bad word to say about Leeds.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it.
Apart from we should be in Premiership.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that one. And if somebody was a long-term resident of Leeds who thinks they know everything there is to see, could you tell them about something that you would consider to be a hidden gem that they may never have heard of?
I really like Craghouse Farm.
Oh, I don't know that one.
That's in Leeds 16. It's actually a charity as well, but it is a farm and a coffee shop, a restaurant, a farm shop and a nursery, as well as it's got lovely walks around it. You can hire summer houses for £5 an hour to sit in, which is really lovely, and all their proceeds go to help and develop friendships with people who've had a difficult start in life. Well worth a visit.
Yeah, definitely. I'll put that on my list when we're all finally free.
Yeah, I'm sure you'd like it.
What about you, Martin?
It's not really an hidden gem, but I think we've got some really lovely country walks. I mean, I live up a loft house, and there's a nice walk by the Rockwell Pit, or the old Rockwell Pit. And I think we're just lucky in that there are any number of local places that local people know about that are really nice to go visit, but many people don't get the chance. Not heard of it. So I think we have so many hidden gems, and it's just be nice if there might be a job for you here, all together, have all the hidden gems that you've got from your radio show.
Yeah.
Let us all know.
I'll have to do that at some point.
But every community's got a little hidden gem.
Yeah, I think so. I've heard some really lovely ones, and lots of ones that I haven't heard of, and I've been here quite a long time. What will you both be doing with the rest of your day today?
Administration for me. Susan doesn't work on a Friday very much here.
I'll be in the garden thinking of Martin working.
Thinking of Martin and his admin. Thank you so much for both coming along and telling me all about your great work at HOPS.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'll make sure I put links in the podcast notes that people can follow your work and see if there's anywhere all that they can help, or just think about, elderly people and how life is a little bit more difficult for them.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
See ya. Bye.
I enjoyed talking to Martin and Susan from HOPS very much. Such a shame that the 480 events that they've planned can't go ahead. I may very well visit Craghouse Farm when we're all free to do whatever we like or some kind of normality comes back, and I'm really looking forward to being assigned my own older person to chat to. Music this week is a beautiful track called Hide and Seek, and it's by Sunflower Thieves. See what you think.
Falling asleep in the back of your car, with no doubt in my mind again, hoping you'll carry me up to my room. It's a long way to walk on my own. Find me, you've counted to 10. To end. Wish for the cold weather, you say you're above war. I leave my coat behind and it won't be long till I get a temperature so I can stay home. No need to tell them that there's nothing wrong. Find me, you've counted to 10. Hide me, I don't want this to end. Sing me the song, the one that I like. How did I miss? It's ended in fire, still in my mind. And what did you say? What I wouldn't give to hear it again. Sing me a song, the one that I like. How did I miss? It's ended in fire. Find me, you've counted to 10. I don't want this to end.